The slide changed, and my name disappeared. I was still standing there, remote in hand, 32 slides deep into a presentation I had built over 4 months. But suddenly, the credit line at the bottom read, "Prepared by Daniel Cross." Not me. Him. Daniel leaned forward in his chair like it was the most natural thing in the world. "Go on," he said smoothly, gesturing for me to continue. "Walk them through our strategy." I felt 18 pairs of eyes on me. Directors, senior managers, one VP dialed in from New York. This meeting decided which team would control a $25 million expansion project. And in one quiet click, I had been erased. Publicly, deliberately. I forced a small smile. "Of course," I said. Because breaking in that moment would have been easy, but I wasn't going to give him that. Daniel Cross had joined 3 months ago. Polished, confident, loud in meetings. The kind of man who didn't build things. He positioned himself near them, near people like me. I was the one who stayed until 11 p.m. rebuilding projections after errors. I was the one who found the 2.6% revenue leak in our supply chain that everyone else missed. And I was the one who designed the entire expansion model currently on that screen. Every number, every assumption, every risk calculation. But Daniel? He told the story better. And in this company, that was enough. Until it wasn't. Slide 33, Daniel interrupted suddenly. I hadn't even reached it yet. The risk mitigation layer, that's where the real brilliance is. He stood up now, walking toward the screen like he owned it. Explain that part. I looked at him, then at the slide, then back at the room, and that's when I realized something. He didn't understand it. Not really. He had memorized the surface, the language, the confidence, but the system underneath, that was mine. Completely. The mitigation layer, I said slowly, relies on a dynamic adjustment protocol. Daniel nodded like he knew exactly what I meant. He didn't. It automatically recalibrates projections every 90 minutes, I continued, based on live input data. Exactly, Daniel said quickly, jumping in. Adaptive intelligence. A few impressed nods around the table. I let him have it. For now. Because what no one in that room knew was this. At 8:10 a.m. that morning, after seeing my name removed from the deck, I made one small change. I disabled the auto-calibration trigger. Just one function, hidden deep enough that no one would notice, until they needed it. At 1 p.m., the meeting ended. Applause, handshakes, smiles. Daniel was already soaking it in. Great job, one director told him. He nodded modestly. Team effort. He didn't even look at me. By 3:25 p.m., the first alert came in. Projection variance, 1.4%. By 4:10 p.m., it jumped to 3.9%. By 5 p.m., the numbers were off by $2.2 million. And suddenly, the same people who had been clapping were calling emergency meetings. My phone rang 11 times. I didn't answer. The next morning, I walked in at exactly 9 a.m. Calm, controlled. But the office? It was chaos. Finance teams arguing, analysts rechecking formulas, Daniel standing near the main screen, voice tight. This doesn't make sense! Because for the first time, he couldn't explain something. There's an issue in the model, someone said. The adjustment layer isn't working. Daniel ran a hand through his hair. Fix it, he snapped. How? Another voice shot back. You designed it. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Because now, the room was turning. That's when he saw me. Hey, he said quickly, walking over. Good, you're here. Different tone now. Less confidence. More need. There's a glitch in the system. Can you take a look? I met his eyes. Glitch? Yeah, he said, forcing a laugh. Probably something small. I tilted my head. Strange, I said. I thought you built it. A flicker of panic, just for a second. 10 minutes later, I was in the main conference room. Same executives, same screen. But this time, no one was smiling. How long to fix it? The VP asked. I checked the logs. I already knew the answer. If I handle it, I said. Around 5 hours. And if we don't? Someone asked. I looked up. By end of day, projections could be off by $5 million. Silence. Numbers always make things real. What do you need? The VP asked, not Daniel. Him. I didn't rush. Clear ownership of the project, I said. Officially, in writing. A pause. And credit for the work already done. Another pause. Daniel shifted beside me. Uncomfortable now. Exposed. Done, the VP said. Just like that. Because suddenly, this wasn't about politics anymore. It was about survival. By 2:40 p.m., the system was restored. By 3:15 p.m., projections stabilized within 0.3%. By 4 p.m., the expansion plan was back on track. $25 million saved. And this time, everyone knew exactly who did it. As I packed my bag, Daniel approached me. No confidence now. No smooth tone. You set me up, he said quietly. I looked at him. No, I replied. You set yourself up. A beat. I just stopped covering for you. And as I walked past the screen one last time, my name was back, exactly where it should have been.